Review. I'm Michael, and today we're going to talk about Penderwicks in Spring, Chapter 17. And this chapter is called Silence, and probably because of most of the chapter, Batty is very silent, especially about her feelings. The chapter starts off with Ben and Batty. It's mostly from Ben's perspective in the start. And Ben is really worried about Batty. He's never seen her sleepwalk before, and he's pretty sure something's wrong. He talks to his friend, Raphael, about what's going on, and they talk about, different problems that she might be dealing with. And, Raphael isn't really helping Ben very much. And so Ben seeks more help. He goes and talks with Nick. Now, Nick doesn't really help him that much with Batty, but Nick challenges him and he says, Ben, I want you to watch Batty for me, and I want you to collect some intelligence, some information on Batty. Not like you're spying on her, because we're not enemies, but you're just looking out for her, for me, and let me know if anything strange happens. So Nick makes himself available to Ben. While Ben and Nick are talking, Nick gives Ben some girl advice. There's the two twins that sent Ben a love note, and they are looking for him at school. And so Nick tries to help him, help Ben gently tell the girls that he's not interested. The chapter continues from Batty's perspective. Now, Batty's in the woods again. She's walking the dogs, and she's really, really depressed. And so she tries to sing. Her singing sprite is gone, but she's in the woods, and so she wants to try, and she kind of just, she can't sing. And she's really kind of shocked by this, and the dogs are a little bit sad because they want her to sing. While this is taking place, and Batty's feeling really bad, Duchess escapes her harness, and Duchess kind of runs off into the woods, and Batty has to catch Duchess while she's holding on to Cilantro, and she kind of grabs Duchess, and Cilantro's wrapped them all up together in the leash, and Batty's just crying because she feels so bad, like everything's going wrong, and she can't even protect these dogs. She takes the dogs back to their home, and she goes to the family that Duchess owns Duchess. And this older couple, Batty talks to the wife, and she's like, "Oh, did you know my mom? What was she like?" And the woman starts to tell Batty these stories, but in the stories, Batty is absent from all of them that the lady shares. It's about her sisters in Halloween time being the three little pigs, or the three musketeers. There's three, and Batty's number 4, and she's gone because she hasn't been born yet, of course. But Batty feels this sense of, oh, I'm not there, or maybe I shouldn't be here. But she hears some stories about her mom. The chapter concludes with Batty sleeping with Lydia, and she tells her parents that Lydia just feels lonely, and Lydia wants Batty to sleep there. But in actuality, Batty is the one that feels lonely, and she doesn't want to sleep alone. So she's sleeping in Lydia's room on purpose, and she ends up trying to tell a story to Lydia, so Lydia can go to sleep. But she's really, really sad and feeling terrible at this point. Let's look at some vocabulary. As usual, I have 5 vocabulary words I think you might be interested in. The first one, sorry about that. The first one is fret. Fret means to worry. And it's kind of this, what should I do? I don't know. This kind of feeling that you get when you're worrying and you try to keep thinking about something and trying to solve a problem or find a solution. This is fretting. Touch football, American style football. Touch football is when usually, just for fun or especially with young kids, they play it where instead of jumping and grabbing someone and tackling them to the ground, they just touch them. And if someone touches you, then you have to stop, and then the game continues. This is called touch football, and Ben was playing this at school, and he really enjoyed it. Another word is hernia. Now, I have a picture here because hernia is kind of hard to explain. It's usually in your stomach, although it could be other places. But it's when kind of a piece of your organs or something, they kind of squeeze through some fat lining in the side of your body. And so if you look here at the picture, right there where that blinking arrow, that's where the organ or intestine kind of squeezed through this layer of fat. And that's called a hernia. And it can be pretty painful, and sometimes you need surgeries. The next one is implant or implantation, which Raphael, I think, is kind of wondering if Batty has been implanted with something. An implant can be a verb or a noun, and implant means to place something inside something else. For example, if I lost a tooth, maybe I want to get a new tooth, and they will implant. They will put a screw or something in and give me a new tooth, and it will stay in my body. Implant can also be a thing. It can be the thing that is being put inside your body. And so implantation is the act of putting something inside something else. Yeah. Let's see here. Reconnaissance. Remember when we talked about Nick asking Ben to watch Batty? He says you're just doing reconnaissance. And this is kind of a military word for looking at getting information about the battlefield. So maybe like a small group of soldiers would go to a new place and they'd just look around. They would look at the enemy to see how many soldiers there might be, and then they would come back with information. They weren't trying to attack or cause any trouble. They're just looking and getting information. And this is reconnaissance. Finding information or getting information, looking, seeing, listening. The discussion questions I have for today are pretty cool. I like them. The first one is, have you ever asked advice to anyone? Did you have a problem at school? Maybe someone was causing trouble for you and you needed to ask a friend or a parent what to do in the situation. Maybe you had a love story and you didn't know how to tell the other person that you loved them, and so you asked your friend, what should I do? Should I tell them? Should I write them a note? Should I give them chocolates? Have you ever asked someone for advice? What kind of advice, and what did they tell you? Question 2. What is the longest time you have ever stayed silent? 1 hour? 3 hours? A day? 5 minutes? What's the longest time you've ever stayed silent? I would challenge you this week to see how long you can be quiet. Test yourself. And talk to us about it when we meet together. I want to know. My longest has probably been 2 days. I was silent for 2 days. Personal kind of choice, being silent. And that's pretty tough. But how about you? Question 3. Have you ever blamed yourself for something that wasn't your fault? I think we do this a lot. Maybe someone got hurt when you're playing a game and you felt so bad because you hurt them while you're playing the game. And you were just playing a game. It was no one's fault. It was no one did it on purpose. But still you feel guilty. You feel like you were the reason that that bad thing happened. And it wasn't really your fault. It was just an accident. But think about that. Have you ever blamed yourself for something that wasn't your fault? I want to hear about what you guys think. Well, that's all for today. Thank you for joining me for another book club preview. Bye-bye. Hey, if you have any questions about the video today, please feel free to leave a comment in the comment section. If you had any other vocabulary words that you wanted to know what they meant, let me know. And also, if you're interested in maybe joining one of these book clubs, please leave a comment and I'll get back to you. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.